Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. We usually start these lives with a meditation, and the meditation is on the quote that you might have seen when you opened Insight Timer app. So, we meditate upon that quote and absorb the wisdom from it and feed it to our subconscious mind. And once we are done with the meditation, we are feeling more centered, more grounded. Then we move on to the second part of this live, which is about spinning the wheel of wisdom. So we have a wheel, and on that wheel, we have names of a lot of transformational books that I have came across in my own journey. So what we do is we spin the wheel, and that wheel or the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, angels, ancestors, whatever you think is your guide. So that wheel chooses a book for us. And then what we do is once we have a book chosen, is we play a game where I ask you guys to pick a number and then we do a reading based on that. Okay. So I will share more details when we get to each part. But for right now, I would love to know, are you guys ready for the meditation? Like, are you settled in a quiet place or wherever you would like to meditate? And if you are, you can type ready in the comments. Okay, wonderful. Nakisha is ready. And maybe I will also drop in a message in the group in case anyone joins us, during the meditation. So just a second. Beautiful. Kathleen is ready as well. And we got a really lovely set of, quote today. So yeah, I'm really excited for today's meditation too. Okay, here we go. We have the message. And let me take a sip and then we will begin with the meditation. Begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can choose to sit, stand, or lie down. Whatever your body needs right now. As you begin to settle in this posture, notice that your eyelids are becoming heavy. Feel them getting heavier and heavier until your eyes close completely. As your eyes comfortably rest in the sockets, bring your attention to your breath. Resting your awareness on your breath for the next few moments. Noticing the air flowing in and out. Continue to follow your breath like this. With each exhale, allowing yourself to relax physically, softening your forehead, unclenching your jaw, loosening your shoulders, softening your belly, and feeling your legs and hands getting heavy and sinking deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Let the ground beneath you hold you completely. And as you feel held and supported by the ground, you also let go of any worries in your mind, noticing your mind begin to settle into a peaceful state. As you feel relaxed in this manner, you find yourself drifting deeper and deeper until you reach your subconscious mind. And as you reach here, you let go of all the outside noises and simply focus on my voice. Today, we are going to meditate and absorb the wisdom from a timeless quote by Brené Brown. True belonging never asks us to change who we are. True belonging requires us to be who we are. Again, the quote is: true belonging never asks us to change who we are. True belonging requires us to be who we are. Brené Brown is reminding us that real belonging never comes from hiding, fixing, or performing. It comes from allowing ourselves to be seen as we truly are. A lot of us try to belong by adapting ourselves to fit in, softening our opinions, hiding parts of our personality, silencing our emotions, or becoming who we think other people will accept. And that may bring approval, but it never brings true peace. When we abandon who we are, we feel the sense of emptiness within us. There is this disconnection from our true self. True belonging feels steady, grounding, and honest because it asks only for our presence and nothing else. Because our true self is enough. And this true belonging happens when we stay connected to ourselves, even when it's vulnerable, when we show up honestly with our feelings, needs, values, and our imperfections. When we do that, we create relationships that feel real, safe, and nourishing. In a moment from now, I am going to share certain affirmations with you to really plant this wisdom into your subconscious mind. And as I share each affirmation, I am going to repeat each one 3 times. For the first 2 times, you can simply let the words sink in. And on the third time, you are invited to repeat that affirmation after me, either silently or in your mind. So let's begin. You feel safe being yourself. You are starting to feel safe to be your complete self. Now repeat after me. I feel safe being myself. You are starting to feel home within yourself. You have find a home within yourself. Now repeat after me. I am home within myself. You are allowed to honor yourself just as you are. You are learning to honor yourself just as you are. I honor myself just as I am. You can allow yourself to be human. You give yourself the permission to be human. I allow myself to be human. release the need to prove my worth. I release the need to prove my value. You can release the need to prove your worth. Your presence is enough. You are learning that your presence is enough. I am starting to see that my presence is enough. I let go of my tendency to take responsibility of other people's emotions. I let go of taking responsibility for other people's emotions. You are learning to let go of taking responsibility for other people's emotions. You are learning that it is safe for you if other people disagree. You are learning that you will remain safe even when other people disagree with you. I remain safe even when others disagree with me. You can let go of hiding and shrinking. You are learning to let go of hiding yourself or shrinking. I let go shrinking myself. You are allowed to show up just as you are. You are beginning to show up just as you are. I show up as I am. You can allow yourself to be seen. It is okay to be seen. I allow myself to be seen. You are welcome just as you are. You are welcome just as you are. I am welcome just as I am. You are allowed to express yourself honestly. You are learning to express yourself more honestly. I express myself more honestly. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. My feelings are valid. You are beginning to choose honesty over approval. You are beginning to choose authenticity over approval. I choose honesty over approval. Your authenticity creates real connections. Your authenticity is creating safe and nourishing connections. My authenticity creates real connections. Connections grows when you stay true to yourself. Connections grows when you stay true to yourself. Connections grows when I stay true to myself. You are beginning to attract relationships that honor your truth. You are beginning to attract people that honor your truth. I am attracting connections that honor my truth. You did great. And now that we have planted these seeds of wisdom into the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, know that each time you repeat these affirmations, these seeds will continue to grow stronger and faster and eventually bear fruits in your life. But now it's time to return back So bring your awareness to your body, noticing the effect of this practice, bringing small movements to your body, like wiggling your toes or your fingers, moving your body in whatever direction it wants to be moved, and as your body begins to wake up in this manner, when you feel ready to fully meet your surroundings and let go of this practice, you are invited to take a deep breath in and a slow breath out, and gently open your eyes. Arriving in the space. If you guys feel called to share your experience of the practice, you're welcome to do that in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing yet, that's perfectly alright. And I see that some new people have joined us while we were meditating. So, a warm welcome to you all. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom. And this is episode 152 of this space where we receive the message that wants to arrive in our life at this moment. And how we do that is through Wheel of Wisdom, which I'm going to show you just in a moment. But in case you join the meditation late, I want to let you know that this live is getting recorded and I will share towards the end of this whole live that where you can find this so you can either re listen to it or listen to the meditation for the first time. And now, let me show you guys the Wheel of Wisdom. Okay, so my lovely people, this is our Wheel of Wisdom. And this wheel that you see contains 50 plus books that I have read in my own journey of healing and personal growth. And now, what we are going to do is we are going to spin this wheel and let the universe, God, divine, source, spirit, angels, and sisters, whatever you think is guiding you right now, whatever you believe in, to send a book our way and to deliver that message that we need to hear most at this point in our life. And in order to do that, what we're going to do is first set an intention. And how I invite you to do that is I invite you guys to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need to receive guidance on today? And let an answer emerge. Or if there is nothing specific going on in your life and you don't receive an answer, then pour this question into the universe, to God, to any higher being you believe in, and ask the universe, what do I need today? And once you have either gotten an answer or you have just sent out this question, let me know in the comments by typing ready or by pressing the heart somewhere here so that we can spin the wheel and, choose a book for us. Hello, Ines. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that caught some part of the meditation. So, yeah, once you have thought of something that you want to receive guidance on, you can press the heart, type in the comments ready, and then we will spin the wheel and let the universe guide us. Okay, wonderful. So we have some hearts, and Soul says, I'm ready, please. And Akasha is ready as well. Wonderful. Okay. So now let's see what, book wants to come through from this wheel today. Okay. So the book that came for all of us is Mindfulness on the Go. Simple meditation practices you can do anywhere. And this book has been written by Jan Chosen Bays. So let's see how we can, in which part of our life we can incorporate mindfulness and feel more alive, rather than running on autopilot or exhausting ourselves. So give me a second to open the book. So this is our book. And now let me choose some numbers for the game that we are going to play. Just a second. Okay. So, my dear ones, before I share the number, let me share the instructions for this game. So, the instructions are that in a moment, I am going to ask you guys to pick a number between certain numbers, okay? And I do not want you guys to rush. Instead, take your time and see which number are you feeling most called to. Which number pops up in your mind, the first number, and share that in the comments. Then I will go through all your numbers and pick a number that I'm feeling most called to. Okay? So the numbers that between which I invite you all to choose are 23 to 91. So I'll say it's many blessings of a wonderful Christmas with your little ones. That is beautiful. And yeah, and he says hi to Nakasha as well. Oh, lovely. And I hope that they have, a lot of fun, Nakasha. And you too. That's all has already shared the number. Okay, pretty quick. And thank you, Vanya, for sharing a number. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Nakasha. Anyone else who would like to share a number before we begin? Thank you, Laura. Okay, so let's see what wants to come through for us. Okay, so which number am I feeling most called to? Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 62. And the number has been chosen by Nakisha for all of us. Thank you, Nakisha. Okay, so let me read the highlighted text from page number 62. Let's see what wants to come through for all of us. Okay, so the heading for this is Study Suffering. So the exercise that came up is as you go about your day, pay attention to the phenomena of suffering. How do you detect? How do you detect it in yourself or in others? Where is it most obvious? What are the milder forms of it? What are the intense forms of it? So, when people try this exercise, when they study suffering, when they are mindful, of it, because what happens is usually, uh, some of you might be like, why? I don't want to focus on suffering. Wouldn't it make me more unhappy? But the thing is that it is here, okay? Because as Buddha said, life is suffering. There is suffering in life, it is a part of life. And even on our day to day, not just in big terms, suffering in terms of death and illness and old age and all of that, any disability or something like that. But in terms of our everyday as well, what happens is that when there is a form of suffering, especially like a little form of suffering, as the author says, a milder form of suffering, like we start to feel a little bit of discomfort, we start to feel a little bit of boredom, you know. What we do is we immediately suppress it, distract ourselves from it, and we don't even know what that we are doing that. It's just our natural go-to that every time, we start to feel a little bit discomfortable, we just, change things. It can be with our posture, maybe we are feeling a little bit discomfort with our posture, or suffer a little bit of pain, because we have been sitting for in this posture for a while, and then our body sometimes naturally shift to a different posture. It moves a little bit, and we don't even realize that what our body is doing. So the and same with the, boredom or discomfort or sadness or anxiety and all of that. We immediately distract ourselves with devices, with, talking to someone else. It is good, but it is not good if you are using it as a distraction for a longer time. So yeah, we just immediately try to distract ourselves as soon as we start to feel that suffering come up. And what the author is inviting us is to not, stay with it and drown in that suffering and, suffer or tolerate it. It's just asking, the author is just asking you to become mindful of it, and like in what ways does it shows up for you. And in that way, when you become more mindful, you will know your triggers in a way. You will know which part of your body is usually more uncomfortable, usually in more pain, and you can then do something about it. And also, it is asking us to acknowledge it, to name it. So if you are starting to feel discomfort, boredom, sadness, anxiety, and you go to your phone, so instead of directly go to your phone, you recognize it, that okay, right now I'm feeling sad, you name it, you acknowledge that emotion, you see that emotion or sensation or whatever the discomfort or suffering is. And then you choose that, would this thing help? Would this thing really help with this emotion, with this feeling? So when we become aware of it, it gives us choices as to what to do next, as to what to do next time. And that is how this whole practice might be helpful. As far as, what is coming up for me and what came up for people when they practiced this, what did they discovered, what insight that they got from this practice. So the author shares that suffering is everywhere. We see it in people's anxious faces, hear it in their voices, see it on the news. As we study suffering, we can hear it in our own thoughts, feel it in our own bodies, see it in the face, in the mirror. Often people begin this exercise thinking of suffering in its extreme and obvious forms, like the death of someone you love or children who are victim of war. As this task brings increased awareness, people discover that there is a spectrum of suffering, from the mild irritation or impatience to rage and overwhelming grief. And okay, yeah. And there are some benefits to suffering. If we have never experienced suffering, we would coast along in life with no motivation to change. Unfortunately, it seems to be true that we are most motivated to change when we are most unhappy. That's true. Pain can be a really big motivator. Our two big motivations in life is to avoid pain and you know, um, to gain more of pleasure. So, if we can restrain the mind from running amok, speculating and disaster mongering, looking for someone to blame for our misery, then we can just experience the physical aspect of what we call pain. So, there is a difference between pain and suffering, as a lot of you might know, that pain is that, initial thing that we experience. For example, a little pain in your hands, or your shoulders, or whatever part. And suffering is the thoughts, the story that we add to it. Like, now my shoulders are aching, or and I would not be able to do this work. I have a lot of things to do. Festivals, Christmas is coming, and I have to manage all of this. I have to, and it really hurts. It is so frustrating. Why haven't I healed already? So we add a story to it, and that is the suffering part. There is the initial pain part, and then there is suffering part. And it can apply to like any kind of pain. I just use the little pain example. So, yeah, so if we just experience it, actually investigate it, discerning all its qualities, instead of it being unbearable, it can become quite interesting. What size is the focus of pain? Exactly where is it located? Above or below the skull? Or above, like where is it located in your body? For example, if you're working with literal pain, then like how much is the area in which you feel the pain? And where is it located in your body? Is it in your hands, in your feet, in your shoulders, in your chest, in your head? You know, and then noticing the area of it, like noticing it like a curious child, that is noticing maybe a beautiful spot on, a beautiful texture on your door or whatever. But yeah, noticing in that manner. So, what is its, like, what does it feel like? Is it dull? Is it sharp? Is it smooth? Is it pulsating? Like sometimes when you have a headache, it is like a pulsating feeling. Is it like a tight band around that area? So how does it feel like, really feel like, not just pain, but the raw sensation of it? And if it had a color, what would it be? So, people often report interesting discoveries when they stop resisting pain and investigate it in this way. Resistance locks in the pain. When we are not adding any mental or emotional stress to simple physical discomfort, the pain is free to change and even to dissolve. Which also makes very much sense because, for example, the example that we took, so if you have a physical pain and then you add the suffering, the story, the mental, and the thoughts and the emotions to it, then what happens is that physiologically a stress response is triggered within your body. And when you are in that state, when you have entered any kind of stress response, what happens is that our body shuts down certain functions that are not essential for us, like our digestion system, like our reproduction system, like our immune system. And so, the more stress that you add, the more you keep your body in that stress response by adding, a lot of thoughts and emotions to it. You continue with that. The less, the less helpful it is because you are actually shutting down your immune system, which was going to help you heal and repair your body, heal and repair that part, to kick any of the bacteria or virus from your body. So, we are actually locking in the pain in this manner if we look at it physiologically also and not just in terms of some concepts. But when you allow it, when you accept it, there is no more stress response. Your body can function naturally. It is very wise, it is very intelligent, it can heal naturally. And you can, that pain can eventually dissolve, or it can eventually dissolve as well. And it is not just with physical pain. If you have tried staying with emotions as well, you will notice that this happens, that when you allow them, when you accept them, when you give that part of you what it needs, it actually dissolves, it actually softens or dissolves, even, completely go away because it got what it needed. And now there is no need for it to, grab your attention. So, yeah, so that is what is coming up for me from this reading. And if you haven't tried doing that with your feelings, I haven't created one with physical pain, I think, but yeah, with feelings I have. And you can do the same thing with your sensations as well. So yeah, if you want to, you can access that, like learn how to be with your feelings, yeah, in this particular course. So in this course, towards the in the final lesson, in fact, the whole course is about like accepting the pain and not adding the suffering. But in the last lesson specifically, I have a guided meditation that will help you learn to feel your feelings, to be with them, to sit with them, and to see them change actually. So, yeah, if you haven't already, you can check it out. And yeah, I guess that's it for this reading. That was all that was coming up for me. So let me know if it resonates with you, Nakisha, at all. And also, if it resonates with anyone else present here, feel free to share that or share anything else that is coming up for you, right now. Kathleen says, wow, that was really helpful for me. I'm experiencing physical pain right now. That is extremely helpful. Yeah, as I read that, I thought so. And I'm so glad that this reading came up and that it, helped you use this moment in your life when you're going through physical pain to use it as an opportunity to practice this particular skill because because if we do it with the really like moderate to intense experiences, then it becomes really easy to do it with the little ones. But again, there is different approach to different people, so maybe start with this little discomfort and then try it with big one, or the other way around, whatever works for you. So yeah, thank you, Kathleen, for sharing that. It resonates. I'm happy. Kathleen says, haha, that's really interesting. I know, when you are in pain, it is not easy to, think of it as an opportunity. But when we do, it really, it's really helpful. Like, it actually takes away the extra suffering sometimes. And don't expect yourself to be able to have that mindset all the time, or with every suffering, because let's be realistic. It is a practice, and we would not be able to do that every time. And when you are not able to do that, then bring compassion to yourself. Okay, so I guess it's time for the next reading. So, let me open the wheel again. And now, again, if anyone new has joined us, I invite you to take a moment to ask yourself or the universe, what do I need to receive guidance on today? And hold that in your mind, hold that question in your mind, that what do I need today, as we spin the wheel. A lot of mindfulness stuff is coming up from this wheel. Okay. So the book is The Mindful Day by Laurie J. Cameron. Okay, so let's see what this book wants to convey to us. Hmm. So let me show you guys the book. And now give me a second to choose some numbers so that we can play a game. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Okay. So, my lovely ones, in a second, what we're going to do is I am going to ask you guys to pick a number between certain numbers. And I do not want you guys to rush at all. Instead, take your time and see which number are you feeling most called to. Share that number in the comments. I will go through all the numbers and pick a number randomly that I'm feeling most called to. Okay? So here you go. Choose a number between 29 to 187. Okay. So thank you, Laura. Thank you, Nakisha. Thank you, Rachel. Okay. Anyone else who would like to share a number? Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Sally. Okay. So let's see which number am I feeling most called to among these. Okay. So the number that I the number that I'm feeling most called to is 87, and the number has been chosen by Sally for all of us. Okay, thank you, Sally. Let's see what is on page number 87. Okay. So the practice for this is email and text mindfully. So let me see where is the starting. Yeah. So have you ever fired off an email or text message at work and felt sudden weight in your stomach after pressing send? You wish you could turn on a magical digital vacuum and pull it back. We have all been there. Emailing and texting are becoming more common than voice to voice communication these days. So, hmm, okay. So, there is a practice, that we can follow to do this mindfully so that we don't end up, sending any more emails that we regret later. And um, one of the practices amongst these is that as you send, as you review the message once you have wrote the email, or as you send a message, ask yourself the following of whomever you are communicating with. What are his or her concerns and needs? What is at stake for him or her? What is the outcome that he or she or they are after? With deeper understanding and wider perspective, you can demonstrate to your colleagues or clients or even to your loved ones that you heard their request and then clearly state your intentions with your words of defensiveness, without your words of defensiveness or blame. And the practice, the whole practice. So, this was just one part of the thing that you can try. And the whole practice is that the first thing is, and so there are different practices that you can follow, and that was one practice. The other practice is, Kathleen says, wow, powerful. Can you repeat? I want to write it down. Sure, I can repeat them. So, the three questions that the author invites us to ask ourselves before we send an email, message, voice note, whatever it is that you send to a loved one or to a colleague or anyone is, what are his or her or their concerns and needs? Again, what are his or her concerns or needs? What is at stake for him or her or them? What is at stake for him or her or them? What outcome is he or she or they are after? What outcome is he or she or they are after? And if you have missed it, I will also share it in the group. So I have a group named Wonderful Beings if anyone is new here. And I post a summary with the exact, excerpts from these books in that group. Okay. So the other practice that the author invites us, which I think a lot of us needs, is, including me, is notice your impulses and habits. So pay attention to the urge to check email or text. The next time you feel compelled to check for new messages, notice what the impulse feels like in your body and allow it to pass, and staying and allow it to pass, staying present with whatever you are doing. You can break whatever is becoming for many an addiction to checking messages. So, So basically, the author is asking us to ride the wave. So when you're feeling this urge, and it can be any, it is not just limited to email or, uh, any other message, we have this urge to quickly check up that is there any new message from a certain person, maybe, or, maybe we are awaiting an email from someone from our company, from anyone, or even if we are not awaiting, we have this habit of checking our emails and stuff first thing in the morning sometimes. So what we can do, what the author is inviting us to is that to notice that where do you feel this urge, just like we did with the pain, bringing curiosity to it. Like, what does this urge feels like? Where is it in my body? And you know is it like a tightness? Is this like this pointed feeling within me? So what does this feel like? And staying with that urge, and when you stay with it, you will notice it peaking, like the intensity is increasing, and you're like, why am I doing this practice? I just need to, I will just take a quick peek, and or maybe I will do it just 1 minute later, So the this urge makes you try to convince yourself to do that thing, for whatever you are feeling the urge to. And it can apply to any impulse, any urge to do anything, not just checking your emails. So you stay with the urge, you stay it, and you see it peak, you feel it peak, you feel the intensity, and you stay with it. You do not act upon the urge, you do not let your sensation or that urge control you. Instead, you stay with it. If you need, you can take deep breaths during the highest intensity of it. And then once you stay there for a while, you will notice that the urge starts to lighten up, like yeah, so like there is a practice known as urge surfing, and I think it is a part of a therapeutic approach known as DBT. And that is the exact practice that we do. It is in a more guided manner, but yeah, that is the way. And then return back to the thing that you were doing or that you were going to do, instead of checking your messages or quickly each time you open your phone, you quickly take a look to the notification section. So that is another practice with the email or text thing that we can do, which can bring more mindfulness in our life. So those were the two practices. There might be many more, There are many more. But yeah, let's lab with these two practices. First is before writing a message, we reflect on other people's needs, other people, like what do they want, what do they might be going through, what do they need, and maybe our own as well, so that we can communicate even more clearly. And when you feel the urge to check a message, ride the wave. Okay, so I guess that's it for the second reading. Let me know if it resonated at all with you, Sally, or with anyone else. Like Kathleen said, it is with it resonated with her. And I'm glad that a lot of readings are resonating with you, Kathleen. And yeah, if anything else is coming up for you guys as well when I read that, you can share that also in the comments. So yeah, feel free to do that. Hmm. And even though it is time, I'm feeling like, doing one more bit. I'm just confused that should I spin this wheel again? Or should we do like a cards thing? So I have, so sometimes I like draw a card from this, I don't know, this website or something, and it randomly picks a card, and then we read a message, and it also has some reflections. So yeah. Okay, so let you guys help. Should we go for one more book, or should we do the card thing and pick a card? Okay, Kathleen says, thank you. You're welcome. You're so welcome, Kathleen. CJ says, excellent readings for Monday morning. Oh, yeah, yeah, it is Monday morning. And thank you, CJ, for, sharing that the readings resonated with you, especially since it's Monday and we have a lot of like work and everything. Nakisha says, doing this is definitely a great way to have a mindful pause before interacting. Yes, isn't it? And these practices are so simple. We just need, if we even, remember one practice, instead of, we have a lot of practices, a lot of information these days. We have AI. We can ask it anything and it can give us hundreds of things and tools. But the thing that we are missing is not information, it is implementation. I, in fact, wrote a whole post on this and sent out to my, mailing list, I guess, 2 weeks ago. And that is the important thing, because what I've experienced in my own life is that if I even took one practice, a simple practice, and applied it to my life consistently, not every single day, consistently do not mean that, because every day we have different things and not in the same manner every day. But if I apply it to my life, on more days than not, then it feels, the transformation, the shift start to happen. So you don't need a big complicated practice, just start with one simple practice and apply it. Okay, so Nakasha, vote for a card. Then card it is. And hi, Cecilia, welcome. You're just in time for, the card at least. Usually we wrap our live at this time, but I don't know, for some reason I was feeling like let's draw a card. Or let's do one more, yeah. So wonderful timing. Cecilia says, Nakisha, I'm getting ready for Danny lol. Danny, like another teacher on Inside Timer, that Danny? Or maybe this is like an inside thing. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I have been to his lives and they are pretty interesting. And recently I got to know about my life path number, and uh, it was pretty revealing. It was pretty accurate for me. And yeah, what was revealed to me, just a little bit of share with you guys, is that yeah, the thing that caught on most to me was that, you know, so it is in my like, purpose or something, is that I am going to like restart a lot of things, like, like a phoenix. I'm going to build something, it is going to crash, then I'm going to restart something. And I noticed it has been happening with my life a lot with, the past few years. I guess, yeah, since I started my career. And yeah, I always wondered why that is. And what I learned was that I need to let go of, any attachment to the outcome. And I just need to be in the process. So what I did recently was I asked myself that, Anisha, what would you create? What would you want to do, even if you knew that it would not succeed, even if you knew that no one else in the world would buy it or appreciate it, what would you still create? What would you still do? And and an answer came to me, and I created something on that, which I also mentioned in my group, because of which I had to cancel the last live. And so I created something that I was needing, and I felt a lot of clients of mine were leading, but I didn't had the resource. I couldn't find the proper resource for them. And the resource that turned out to be was, so the thing that I was needed was, so when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling triggered, when I am feeling, which I'd feel a lot of times, I'm a sensitive person. I cry a lot of time. So yeah, so at those moments, I really need, someone to help me through it, because at that moment, even if I know all these practices, I cannot do it at that time. And also, I do not know which ones to apply at this moment. So I created a whole like resource thing, a whole toolkit around it, like a nervous system regulation toolkit. And what I did was I actually, picked out 5 techniques for each of the stress responses, like fight and flight. They go in one category. Then second is freeze, and the third is shut down. So I created 5 techniques, and those techniques actually I picked out the techniques based on what you can do when you are in public. Because I faced it. I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling, a lot of things, and I cannot do any practice that I know of. I cannot do a butterfly hug. I cannot hug myself. I cannot, do deep breathing or, without being more obvious to others. So I try to pick out those techniques that you can do in, social setting and everything. And I created a course. And I think I launched it, I guess, on 20th. Yeah, I think I launched it yesterday or day before yesterday. And no one has bought it yet. And that's okay. I am feeling this. I'm not feeling any regret for doing that. I'm not feeling like I put in a lot of something and didn't got anything, but I'm feeling like I created something into the world and the right person would find it. Maybe they haven't yet, but they will. And you know, and I got something from it because I am going to listen to that when I am feeling low. So yeah, so now I've changed my approach to creation, and now I am going to, create things that from this mindset that even if no one ever listen to it, even if no one ever buy it, no one ever do anything with it, what do I want to create into this world, and what do I want to create for myself, my version right now and my younger version. Okay. I guess this is the first time I've shared a very personal thing with you guys. So yeah, thank you for listening to me blabber. It came out of nowhere. It came out of Danny Dang. Someone mentioned that, Cecilia. Thank you for mentioning that and for allowing me to be, more real with you guys, not just with my personality, but what is going on for me in my life. So thank you so much for bringing that up, bringing Danny Dang up, uh, and allowing me to be authentic, especially since that was today's quote. So, yeah. Okay, let me go through your lovely comments and then we will draw a card and maybe wrap this live. Okay, Nakisha says his lives is after this one. Oh, I am when I'm going to check it out. I hope. Yeah, I love attending his lives. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to catch some of you, maybe in this one or maybe the next one. Okay, Cecilia says we are groupies. Haha. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I have seen you in a lot of live, Cecilia. It is lovely, and you are so, supportive. You are such a lovely person. Cecilia says, like me, I am a 16/7 Phoenix rising. Oh, okay. Then we are, then we are so connected. Really. Okay. Kathleen says, oh my God, I'm totally buying it. Thank you so much for creating it. Oh, I so appreciate, you saying this, you even saying this, Kathleen. It means a lot when when I or anyone else creates something, when it reaches the right people and when it helps them with something, even a little bit, or it gives them a little moment of comfort, it just makes it so much worthwhile. So yeah, thank you. Um, and before I read the rest of the comments, Kathleen says, your vulnerability and honesty is helping me to feel not so alone and different, but human. Thank you. That's the magic, I think, of being vulnerable. I've never like intentionally hold out anything. I guess with these lives, I haven't really gotten an opportunity, or maybe I regulated myself or something that I never got really, really honest with you guys about what is happening with me. This is my real personality, that is honest. But yeah, and I love that it happened today with the quote and everything. We got to experience it, like, right now. Because I've noticed that every time I've shared my suffering with someone, it in a way gave them permission to, to accept theirs and to not feel alone, which means a lot because when I was at a low point in my life, I felt that everyone have their life figured out. They are like they are happy with their lives and they are capable. They are so amazing and everything. And I'm a defective piece and there is something wrong with me and I'm not normal. And it really, really made me feel so isolated and alone. So so that is one of the reasons that why I do not ever intentionally hold on to sharing my suffering because I know that it helps someone that is suffering feel like they are not the only one. My body is shaking a little bit. Okay. Okay. So I did one of the practices that I included in that course just now. Okay. Yeah, and now I feel better. Okay. So yeah. Thank you, universe, for that idea. Okay. Now, Nakisha says, okay, before that, I missed some of the comments. I did not want you guys to not feel seen. So, yeah, Nakisha says, that's amazing. Mark says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mark. Welcome. We are just sharing, we are just being vulnerable right now. Usually, we do some readings in case you are new. Cecilia says, create for ourselves. Yes. Ah, I'm glad that you resonate with it. And yeah, it's kind of freeing. It is kind of freeing. Nakisha says it can be very transformative, and I'm so happy that it helped you create something so heartfelt. Yeah, I am too. I'm so grateful. Nakisha says there is nothing wrong with you. You are an amazing soul. Thank you for saying that, Nakisha. Yeah. Now for most times, I know there is nothing wrong with me. I guess still there is always a part, but there is even a lot bigger, you know, capacity to hold compassion, to hold that part within me now. So yeah, it is beautiful. It has been a transformative journey. Okay, now let's wrap with a card. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so give me a second to open the, site because I haven't had it open. I didn't plan on doing this. So just give me a second. Hmm. Okay. So the name of this tarot card is Light Seer's Tarot Card. And let me, yeah. So here is the card. Give me a second. Hmm. And, before I tap on it and we receive, you know, a card for this whole space, I invite you, including myself, I invite all of us to ask the universe, what do I need to hear right now? Let's see. So that is the card that came up, and the name of it is the Chariot. So, the Chariot, the affirmation for it is I choose who I am becoming and I run towards it with conviction. I love that, especially since the new year is coming, especially since I thought of creating like a free guide on you guys, before you go on to resolutions and everything and starting new habits, to create a guide to help you, know, um, understand that what what habits or what things you want to do, not just because someone else is doing, not just because it's what successful people do, you know, it's the top 10 habits of successful people, not just because that, not just borrowing something from it, but asking yourself, what would be helpful for me? What would make this year the best year? And based on that, deciding a habit. So I was thinking of creating that. And I was thinking of like, should I create that? Should I create something else? And I am taking this as a confirmation that I would create that guide, by the end of this December. So again, the affirmation is I choose who I am becoming and I run towards it with conviction. Nakisha says this is definitely going along with the books today. Yeah, it is, and with the share and everything. So the message, the charioteer is perched steadily, galloping towards his destination. The universe constantly gifts us with the opportunity to become more. Push ahead with determination, beautiful seer, because you will get there. While you are on the way to your goals, you will need to make decisions about your best path forward. You will change and grow when you hurdle ahead, as your evolution is imminent right now. This magical moment for taking inspired action whispers, you will manifest this. Go ahead and find extreme optimism. If you feel pulled in two different directions, know that you can use both of these energies to thrive and that there is a way to get them both on the same page. I feel like this live is definitely for me to bring all of the ideas that I have to together on the same page in the same free guide. Okay, I'm going to think about that. Continuing, seek to align your task with your purpose. or with any spiritual desire that you have, and give yourself all the wings you can as you move towards your swift resolution, completion, and achievement. In shadow, what this card means is take care not to boulder your way through other people or to use them carelessly on your way up the mountain. Flying forward without paying attention to your path can sometimes be harmful to those in your wake. It's time to choose the things you really want. And if you aren't sure what that thing is, then you may need to buckle down and find your north. Feel complete. Cecilia says, bye, Anisha. Much love. Bye bye, Cecilia. Have fun. And yeah, I'm also, I guess, and ending this live. I guess I got some direction. I'm, I will think about a lot of ideas, and create that guide to help you find your north, to help you find your habits, to become your best self, and all of that, and pull it into one. So I'm really excited about that now. That is going to be my next that is going to be my next project. Okay. I hope that you received something of value from this live today, guys. And it was so, so, so lovely being with you guys today. Thank you for all the love that you have given me, all this year. I started doing these in January and it is December and we have done 152 lives up until now. Oh my goodness. And I have a lot more planned. I guess I have 5 or 4 lives planned in this upcoming, weeks. I'm not very sure they are going to be approved yet by Insight Timer because we received a message today that Insight Timer team is going on holidays. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be live in December, if they are going to be approved. I really hope they would be. But if they don't, then I would see you in January. So yeah, so in case we do not meet live again, in case, then I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, all of you. Nakisha says, can't wait to see its completion. Yeah, I will let you know in the lives, and you can always check here, and not just that, you can also check the one that I released, the course that I was talking about, the whole nervous system thing, and you can find it here. You can go to my profile, okay? And when you open my profile on Inside Timer, go to the About section there, scroll all the way down, and here you will find anything that I release. I'm also thinking of updating this and putting all my free content and all of my offerings in this in a more organized way. But until then, you can also check what are already here. I have a lot of things here, a lot of offerings, a lot of gifts for you. And yeah, you can check it out on your own time. But yeah, I hope that you would find something useful. Um, Kathleen says you are such a gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Kathleen. And you too are, your presence means a lot. Your words means a lot. Thank you for saying this. Nakisha says, Happy New Year, much love and blessings. Thank you, Nakisha, for being here. And you too. I hope you guys have a lot of fun, and yeah, and that you wrap this year with compassion and start the next year with passion, I guess. Nakisha says, I will be looking at it too. Yeah. I hope that, it resonates with you, Nakisha. Thank you for um, you know, giving it a chance to enter your life. Thank you, means a lot. We say it's happy holidays, Anisha and everyone. Happy holidays, we. I hope that you have a fun time. So yeah, that's it for this live. Thank you so much for your presence, you guys. for your lovely comments, for making me feel seen and heard today, and accepted and loved, and all of it today and all of this whole year. Thank you for supporting my journey all this while. Thank you so much. I am so grateful and so honored. Really. Thank you. I bow down to the divine within you all. Rob says, good morning, afternoon, Anisha, and all from Boston. Thank you for showing more of your vulnerable side today. What a blessing it has been to learn from you over these many months. Much gratitude to you. Many Christmas and best wishes for a wonderful new year. Thank you so much, Rob, for these lovely words. It means a lot to know that you like spending time here, and you learned, you got something of value from this. Thank you so much. And I hope that you have a fun Christmas and a beautiful New Year. Oh, and thank you so much, Kathleen, for this support, for supporting my journey. I am so grateful, and I wish you a lot of peace. I'm sending you a lot of healing, and I hope that you hold every single part of you so dearly and so much compassion, and beautiful things happen for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I hope to see you in the next live in December if Insight Timer approves my lives. And if not, then I will see you in January. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Merry Christmas and have a beautiful new year.